Eldoret is a principal city in western Kenya. It is the capital and largest city in Uasin Gishu County, lying south of the Cherangani Hills. The local elevation varies from about 2,100 meters above sea level at the airport to more than 2,700 meters in nearby areas. The population was 289,380 in the 2009 census, and it is currently the fastest-growing town in Kenya. It is also the second largest urban center in Midwestern Kenya after Nakuru and the fifth largest urban center in the country. Etymology: the name Eldoret is based on the Maasai word Eldor, meaning stony river, a reference to the bed of the Cherangani River that runs through the town. History: the area that is now Eldoret and the plateau around it had been occupied by the Sirikwa for several centuries prior to the era of Maasai ascendancy. At the greatest extent, the lands of this society covered the highlands from the Chepalangu and Mau forest northwards as far as the Cherangani Hills and Mount Elgin. The lands were roughly conterminous with present-day Kalenjin lands save for a southeastern projection into the grasslands of Nakuru that was permanently taken over by the Maasai no later than the 17th century. Innovation in weaponry, specifically heavier and deadlier spears, brought about the Maasai era of the 16th and 17th centuries. The Maasai, with the new weapons and forms of governance, swept down from their original homelands in the north closer to Lake Turkana, down to the present homeland south of Kenya. The Maasai clan that took over the plateau were known as the Uasin Gishu, after whom it is presently named. Eldoret as a town, founded as it was by Afrikaners, is almost unique in the British-dominated Kenya of the early 20th century. The first of the Afrikaners, the Van Breda brothers, arrived in 1903 and were joined 2 years later by Frans Arnoldi and his family. The big influx followed shortly thereafter. In August 1908, 58 families of displaced Afrikaners left Nakuru for the Uasin Gishu Plateau after a journey from South Africa by sea and by rail from Mombasa. Led by Jan van Rensburg, they endured an arduous trek laden as they were with wagons that would often get bogged in mud, finally arriving at Sejwa on the 22nd of October of that year. The land had earlier been surveyed by a certain Van Breda, and the new arrivals took up leaseholds of between 800 and 5,000 acres on condition that they would develop it within 5 years. Each family built a shack, put up fences, inspanned oxen to simple plows, and turned the first furrows. They sowed wheat, maize and vegetables, laying the foundation for the transformation of the plateau into a prosperous agricultural region. The farms were later officially registered and each was given a number. Eldoret was established in the midst of the farms they created on what was known to the settlers as Farm 64. 64 or Sisibo to the locals because at the time it was 64 miles from the newly built Uganda Railway railhead at Kibagori. Willie van Aardt owned the farm. The central lounge in Eldoret is all that remains of Willie's farm. The official town site started in 1910 with the development of a post office at Sisibo. This was followed shortly after by the arrival of 60 more Afrikaner families in 1911. The governor decided to establish an administrative center in the area in 1912, and thus the post office was renamed from 64 to a new official town name Eldoret. Becoming an administrative center caused an enormous increase in trade within the prospective city. A bank and several shops were built. The Uganda Railway extension, from Kibagori toward Uganda, reached Eldoret in 1924, starting a new era of prosperity and growth. In 1928, a piped water supply from the Cherangani River was installed. In 1933, the East African Power and Lighting Company installed an electricity generator plant. By that time, Eldoret had a small airport, and low-cost rental housing had been constructed. In the 1950s, the town was literally divided into two, along the main street, with the Afrikaans on the north and the British on the south. The former took their children to Highland School, and the latter, to Hill School. Recreation was also along the divide. Brits used the Lincoln Hotel and the racecourse near the now Chinese area, while the Afrikaans converged at the Wagon Wheel for recreation. Daniel Arap Moi was born in the neighboring Baringo district, and under his presidency, the town was developed further. The country's second institution of higher learning, Moi University, was established by the government in 1984, and the third international airport was subsequently constructed, significantly boosting the fortunes of the town. By 1987, only 2 Afrikaner households remained in Eldoret, with the rest having moved back to South Africa in the late 1950s and early 1960s. In the aftermath of the Mama Rebellion and in anticipation of independence, the city was significantly impacted by the 2007-2008 Kenyan crisis, when violence gripped Kenya in the aftermath of controversial presidential elections. The athlete Lucas Sang was murdered about 10 kilometers away from the town while on his way home to Chepwalel. On the 1st of January 2008, a mob attacked and set fire to a church in the town, where hundreds of people had taken refuge during Kenyan massacres. As a result, about 40 to 80 people, mostly Kikuyus, were burned to death. William Ruto, the current Deputy President of the Republic of Kenya, is a son of the city. He has previously represented Eldoret North constituency in Parliament. Climate. Local governance. Eldoret is governed by a county council of Uasin Gishu. The council manages all the city affairs. The city is divided into 13 wards. 6 of them are in Eldoret North constituency, 3 are in Eldoret East constituency, and the remaining 4 are part of Eldoret South constituency. All of these 3 constituencies have more wards within other local authorities than Eldoret municipality. Suburbs. Eldoret has a number of estates. Estates vary in that some are posh and others are residents of the middle-class community. Almost each estate has its identity. Some of the estates include Elgin View, Langas, Kapsret, Huruma, Kapsoya, Kahoya, West Indies, West Kipkaren, Kimumu, Jerusalem, and Pioneer, among many others. Economy. Eldoret is surrounded by prime agricultural lands and acts as a trading center for Uasin Gishu's economy, which is driven by large-scale grain farming, dairy and horticultural farming. The town is also a local manufacturing hub with a number of nationally recognized manufacturing concerns, including Ray Plywoods, Rupa Textiles, Kenya Pipeline Company, Kenya Cooperative Creameries, as well as corn, wheat and pyrethrum factories, all within the town. The city is home to a large market and is known for the Dua Yoleso's cheese factory, Moi University, and Eldoret International Airport. The runners from Eldoret have also contributed significantly to the economy of Eldoret town, primarily investing in small businesses and real estate. For the winnings in races all over the world, Moses Kiptanui is a stakeholder in one of the largest buildings Camorra that houses a large large supermarket chain and many offices. Notable professional firms include Nairo & Company, the oldest law firm in the city, founded by Alfred Momani Nairo in the 60s. Other law firms have also come up, and some of the largest and busiest law firms are D. Eldoret Company, being managed by the experienced duo of Michael Wabomba Masson and Daniel Lawrence Gumbo, and associate advocates, Mbu Romana and Amp Company Advocates, Naya and Tuyat and Amp Company Advocates, Kalyar and Amp Company Advocates, Taurus and Company Advocates, and Gitru and Amp Company Advocates. Tourism. Eldoret has traditionally not been known as a tourist destination and does not have much to differentiate it from Kenya's other highland centers. Being Kenya's fifth largest city, however, it is a great deal bigger and serves as a base for touring the North Rift circuit. The city has a decent variety of accommodation options, notably the Sirikwa Hotel, Poa Place and the ultra-modern Boma Inn, as well as enough nightlife options to interest one for an evening or two. Notable attractions within easy distance of Eldoret include the Cherangani Hills area to the south, home of the Nandi, the fiercest early opponents to British rule. It is also the home of the Chemosid, a crypto-beast that is said to devour human brains. To the north lies the town of It, the world's foremost manufacturer of elite middle and long-distance runners and a popular destination for foreigners looking to hone their talent. The city has also lately grown into a sports tourism destination thanks to a number of renowned world runners and a high altitude that makes the local area suitable for athletics training. Education. Eldoret is home to Moi University with a student population of 14,855 as of 2006. The second medical school in Kenya, Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital, is also located in the city limits of Eldoret City. The growth of the University of Eldoret is also playing a major role in the economic sector because of its high population. Health. There are a number of medical facilities in the city, notably Moi Teaching and Amp Referral Hospital, one of two national hospitals in Kenya. The county has the Uasin Gishu District Hospital, and there are several private institutions: St. Luke Orthopedic and Trauma Hospital, Eldoret Hospital, Mediheal Hospital, and Elgin View Hospital, among others. In 2015, East and Amp, Central Africa's first public children's hospital, the Shu4 Africa Children's Hospital, a 105-bed state-of-the-art general hospital, was opened behind the Moi Referral Sport. Eldoret, in particular the Elgin View area, is the hometown of numerous Kenyan runners, the most renowned of whom is Kipchoge. The high altitude is an ideal training ground for many middle and long-distance athletes. Kipchoge Stadium is the town's main stadium and is a multi-use stadium with the capacity of 10,000 people. The stadium is used for athletic meetings and used to host local football teams including Brivatex and Eldoret KCC. The stadium fell into disrepair and was refurbished beginning in 2007 when the Kenyan government allocated KSH 100 million for its upgrade. Eldoret is also home to the International Association of Athletics Federations' high-altitude training center for Kenyan and international athletes. Infrastructure. Transport. Airports. Eldoret International Airport is a large airport that serves the city of Eldoret and the surrounding communities. Situated at 2,150 meters above sea level, the airport has a single asphalt runway that measures 3,475 meters in length. It was voted the cleanest airport in the country in 2001. Roads. The Trans-African Highway passes through the city's central business district. Railway. The city is also served by the Kenya-Uganda Railway. Oil pipelines. It also has the oil pipeline passing through the city and a station is there. Sister cities. Eldoret is a sister city of